What is up, everybody? Renfail here, and we're back again with more World of Warcraft Dragonflight. And today we're talking about one of my favorite conversations, which is what's better, mouse and keyboard or the controller? And we've had some great conversations around this topic in other games. We talked about it in Guild Wars 2, playing on the controller via Steam. We talked about it playing the Pathfinder games from Owlcat. We talked about it most recently in Baldur's Gate 3, because I played that for 3 years with mouse and keyboard and then immediately switched over to the controller once that game went live and played it about 90%, 95% with the controller. But there are caveats to each game because it's not sort of this be all end all where it's the controller is always going to win or the mouse and keyboard are always going to win. For me personally, I've always found that there's a balance to be struck with each individual player and how they choose to play the game. So I kind of want to walk you through my thoughts on it, how I'm using the mouse and keyboard versus the controller in World of Warcraft, because I am doing a hybrid version. But the nice thing about it here is, like, I know in Baldur's Gate 3 there was like a transition that happened. So as soon as you started using the controller, it would have a slight, like, 1 second pause and the whole UI would switch. And that doesn't happen here. Instead, the UI is however you want to set it up. You can totally customize the UI through edit mode. And you come in here and resize all your windows and put them where you want, and set it up to look however you want. But I've just kept it sort of at the default with a couple of, I opened up another chat window and I moved my focus target up in a different area and I moved that stuff up at the top. But it is a pretty seamless transition. So if you look at my hotbar right over here right now, it's all numbers and it's mouse and keyboard mode. But the moment that I hit a thumb pad and toggle, boom, now I'm in controller mode, and you can see that we've popped up some letters on the hotbar over here, and then all I got to do to go back is just go over here and click on something with my mouse, and now we're back in mouse and keyboard mode. It is a very seamless transition, and I freaking love it. So today's discussion topic is going to be what's better, controller or mouse and keyboard. And I think for me the answer is going to be it kind of depends on what it is I'm doing and what I'm playing. And I kind of want to walk you through those things in today's video. If you've never watched one of my videos before and this is your first time, I'd love it if you could hit the like button, subscribe, hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. We do multi-stream every single day here and on Twitch. So if you prefer to watch live over on Twitch, just follow the links down below. 5:30 a.m. every morning, 8 p.m. Central every night. Those are the schedules. You stream a couple hours every morning, a couple hours every night, sometimes 3, occasionally afternoon streams. We do a lot of different games, not just World of Warcraft, but we do a lot of Warcraft with our guild Risen on the Moonguard server. So if you'd like to come join us, hit me up in Discord, send me a private message, and I will get you an invite to the Risen Discord server where you can fill out an app and come join us. Without further ado, let's go ahead and check this out. So I use the controller for, I would argue, about 90% of my gameplay in World of Warcraft. But you are going to notice on the bottom here that most of my hotbars are set up so that I'm only using my primary abilities. Really what it comes down to is I've got my main ability, which is to send my pet against a mob and put Hunter's Mark on it. It's a macro that I made, followed up by my rotation, which is Serpent Strike, I have to go hover over here. Serpent Sting, Barbed Shot, Kill Command, Dire Beast, Murder of Crows, and then Kill Shot. And everything's dead by that point. Boss mobs, I will bring out Call of the Wild, and then I have a separate rotation if it's AoEs, which is multi-shot with some other stuff. And then I have my Drakes over here, but I really have my only primary, which is the blue one. Pretty much all of my movement and running around and questing is done with the controller. I freaking love the controller like this. Now there are times, because of the way this is set up. Now again, you can use an add-on. I don't use any add-ons. I just use the built-in controller support that World of Warcraft has. The one area where I will immediately switch over and use the mouse and keyboard. Let me see if I can find an NPC that has dialogue. Well, this will be a good one. The Stable Master. So I've got this interact set up. Hit X. It brings up the interact window. Now from here, I actually do need to switch over and use the mouse to select the option here. And I would then go in and say I want to stable my pet. And then here I would use the mouse to drag and drop my pets around and do things like this. And then close that down and then immediately go back to mouse, go back to controller. And now I'm running around and exploring again. Almost all of my combat is done with the controller. The exception is if we're on really intricate bosses during dungeons or other scenarios that require intense focus and really, really specific focus fire, I might then drop back and go back to mouse and keyboard just so that I'm, making sure that everything's exactly going according to the way it needs to go. Because in raid scenarios and dungeon scenarios, there's often times where it's not just about running around and fighting the mobs. You're also clicking on objects, and you're also, when you get the little pop-up that happens in the middle of your screen when you have to like use an object that's from like a quest object, and you're supposed to like use the staff to do this thing. Or if you've got up here in your quest journal and you've got those items that are associated with quests and you need to click on something, things of that nature, like you click it and then it gives you the area effect and you need to move the area effect somewhere to like throw something on the ground. Those are instances when I'll use the mouse and keyboard because I don't have those mapped to any of the controller things yet. So those are examples of times when I will use the mouse and keyboard, but those are, I would argue, only about 10% of the gameplay. Like 90% of the gameplay, 85-90%, I'm doing the controller for everything. So one of my favorite things to do is not just running around. I can pan in and out with the mouse, like this. But once I've got the distance where I want, depending on how, this is great. Depending on like how hard I push the stick forward, I'm either running or walking, which is great. It's totally based on your feedback of how much you're pushing. A is my jump. I've got all my abilities mapped, and my favorite is Dragonflight, because Dragonflight on the controller is just freaking seamless. And really, I'm going to pan out so we can get a good view of this, because it is just absolutely phenomenal to fly around. And let's go ahead and get some abilities here, because I just freaking love this to just like, I just find that hit the edge of the mountain there. I find that Dragonflight on the controller is way superior to mouse and keyboard. And so for me, my preferred method to get around in this entire Dragonflight expansion is definitely with the controller versus mouse and keyboard. Now, if I can go, I'll try to find some combat here real quick so we can take a look at what that looks like. Let me open up the map here. I can go this direction and might be able to find some stuff. Quick commercial break, everyone, to celebrate and give thanks to all of these amazing people who keep me on the air full time. Really appreciate the support. All you got to do is join as a member. You get access to private videos. You can also do super thanks on any upload, or super chats and stickers on any live stream or premiere you see. And beyond that, don't forget we're multi-streaming over on Twitch now, so you can support over there as well. Thanks so much to everybody. Let's get back to the video at hand. I think just around the corner. I think we'll have to drop down here, but I'm pretty sure there's some mobs down here, because I was down here looking for some oxen earlier. Yep, there's one right there. So let's get off here and we'll take a look at what this looks like with a single target. So it's all controller based, so I'll try to maybe show my fingers if you can see it from that angle. So we're gonna, there's my primary, there's my secondary, and then we're going Y, B, LB, B, LB, and then RB, and it's dead. Like, that's how simple it is. And then I've got my interact go here, and then I skin it, and then I'm off to the next. And this is all done with the controller. So again, we'll pick my target, and we do that. We do serpent sting, and then we do bam, bam, and bam, bam, and then kill shot, and target's dead. And again, interact to loot, auto loot, skin, we're on to the next. So it's an amazingly seamless way to play. I really, really enjoy it. We can also do AoEs, like so. I don't know if I had lots of AoE targets. I have a different rotation for AoEs based on what we have. I don't think we have any. Let me go see if I can find a group of mobs really quick to show you what that looks like. Let's see here. I don't think there's, well, what I can probably do here is do a serpent shot here, serpent shot up here. Let's see if I can get one more up here. Let's actually see if I can get an AoE on these guys. Yep, here we go. So this is going to be my AoE rotation, which is slightly different. So we AoE, and then we go into this, boom, boom, heal my pet, boom, another shot here, boom, boom, kill shot. They're all dead. Like, it's... Welcome to the channel, Tiago Bronco. Love it. I always forget to turn those audio cues off, which are for my streams, but I sometimes forget to turn them off when I'm recording videos, but it's always awesome. And that's it, everybody. I do everything from the controller these days. I do think, like I said, there are specific examples of times, as I mentioned earlier, when you would probably want to use the mouse and keyboard for fine-tuning your targeting. But I feel like those are mostly unique situations based on... I don't have this one mapped yet, so I have to do it like this. You have these unique scenarios where you need to use those AoEs for quest objects and stuff, and those times I'll use the mouse and keyboard. But for everything else, I just love the controller, and I think it works best for the way that I like to play World of Warcraft. But again, I'm not everybody. You might have a different opinion. I'd love to hear yours. So, drop those comments down below, and if you found this guide useful and you want to hear more of me talking about random things, not just in World of Warcraft, but all the other games we play, check out the playlist, all those things. Like, subscribe, hit the bell icon here on YouTube. Go ahead and follow over on Twitch too, because we're multi-streaming there every morning, every night, 5:30 in the morning, 8 p.m. in the evening. There's a Discord. There's a guild on the Moonguard server. We're doing Dragonflight right now and setting up for the World Soul Saga next year. Lots of other stuff's happening. We got Rogue Trader coming in the pipeline, Dune Spice Wars, ton of other stuff, movie reviews. I'll see you next time, everybody. Stay safe. Happy gaming.